Alrighty, good afternoon, everybody. This is Robert at Scott Leroy Marketing. We're going to get started with our KW Connect overview here. A couple of things to get out of the way before we get started here. This class is recorded. We are recording this right now. That's what you saw me do just a couple of seconds ago. And it will be available hopefully in just a couple of hours today, but at the latest tomorrow at slmtraining.com. So that's S as in Scott, L as in Leroy, M as in Marketing, training.com. And then if you're having trouble listening on your computer, or if you'd rather just call in using your phone, we do have the number there for that. That's on the screen right now. I just sent you that message there in the chat window as well. And then lastly, before we get started, I am going to need some input from you guys as we go through the class. So let me show you how to send that to me. Up near the top of your screen, you should have these same 5 buttons that I do. If you'll click on this one just to the left of center that looks like a speech bubble icon, that's going to open up the chat window. This is where you can send me things like what you want to search for in KW Connect. And that's the main thing I'm going to be looking for. And we'll talk more about that in just a few minutes. To get started, let me minimize this here. To get started, our first step to access KW Connect is to get logged into mykw.kw.com. You can log in directly to kwconnect.com, but that login process is a little iffy. We've seen several issues with not being able to log in correctly, and we've never had an issue accessing it this way. So the best thing to do is to log into mykw.kw.com. Once you're on your MyKW homepage, up in the top black menu here, we're going to click on this second option called Education. That'll take us directly into KW Connect. Now, what KW Connect is it's KW International's learning resource for all the KW associates. So if there's anything you want to learn about practicing real estate or about KW itself and what KW provides, this is the place to find it here in KW Connect. Where it takes us to here by default when we click on that education link is the KWU page, Keller Williams University. We will get to this page in just a little bit, but for now, instead, I'm going to click on the KW Connect logo up here in the top left to go back to the KW Connect homepage. And it says I'm not logged in. Let me click on login and it'll log me in. And it takes me to my profile. There we go. Let's click on this Connect logo again to go back to the home page. Here we are. So starting at the top, we are going to have, we're going to go through this whole menu across the top. But before we do that, I do want to go down this home page from top to bottom just to break things down for you. So starting up here, we do have the menu, and we're going to go through each one of those. And just to the right of the menu here, we've got this little magnifying glass icon. Magnifying glass, almost no matter where you are, means search. Anytime you see a magnifying glass, it means search. So if I click on this magnifying glass, it's going to pop out a search bar in place of that menu. And you can search all of KW Connect from the search bar here. If you want to hide this, you just click that magnifying glass again, and you've got the menu back. Here on the home page, we have another search bar right here. That search button up there is more for if you're on some page besides the home page, but you can search the same way here in this search bar here on the home page. These sliding basically ads essentially for other content here in KW Connect. They change out periodically as KW International has new information they want to put in front of associates here. And you can click on any one of those to see more details about whatever this little banner is about. Under that, we've got latest in tech. This is what a lot of people are going to be really interested in as far as what's going on with Kelly and Command and whatever's going on in labs. And this is where you're going to find the newest information about what's going on there. So you can watch those videos right there. You can click on view all to find the older ones and just watch through those and learn about what's going on. Under that, we've got this featured section, and what it is by default is videos, but you can also select audio, files, links, or all types. I'm not sure I'm not sure what gets chosen to show here on the home page. I think it might just be handpicked stuff from KW International, so those will change out pretty often. It may also be the newest videos from KW International channels. I still have yet to figure that out, but it looks like it is just KW International content. And what we can do up here is use these filters, especially these over here, to show what's currently here is KWRI content only. That's why the KW circle here is red. It says KWRI only. If I click on this button just to the right of that that looks like a person silhouette, this is going to show me just posts from KW Associates. So this is going to be non-official channels, so not like KWU or Labs or KW International, things like that. This is going to be from Associates. And this looks like maybe the brand newest content. I'm not sure about that. It may also be popular content or content from popular users here in KW Connect. And we'll talk more about users in a little bit when we get back up to that menu. Before we scroll down, I do want to point out this button down here that says Accept Cookies. That is going to show every single time you log in here to KW Connect. You can just click that button and dismiss it to see the rest of the screen here. Scrolling down underneath that, we have the upcoming courses section. This is courses from all across KW, everywhere in North America that has some kind of course coming up. It's showing you the preview of what that calendar is going to look like here. Looks like we've got several Ignites starting up in the next couple of days. We also have MREA starting in, 6 days there. So if you want more information about whatever those classes are, you can click on one of those and get more information. Down here on the bottom, trending searches is just that, popular searches, things that people are actually looking for. People are searching for family reunion, vision, live stream. This was a couple of months ago. It looks like it's still pretty popular. Recommendations is, looks like hand-picked stuff from KW International that they want you to watch there. And then we've got one spotlight video here about Command. And this is going to change out as KW International chooses new things to put on the homepage here. Coming back up to the top, we're going to go through this menu here, and we are going to do these one by one. If you hover over memberships here, I'm not going to click into each of these. I'm just going to explain what they are because I can't actually show you much about them. Memberships is memberships to different divisions of KW. So KWYP, Young Professionals, Farm and Ranch, Commercial, Luxury, GPS, all of those different divisions of KW International. You can learn more about them there, and if you're a member of them, it'll list those right here, and you can get more content about those different memberships if you are a member. Coming over to calendar, let's click on that. This calendar is connected to every market center's calendar across North America if they're using their calendar correctly, which most of them do. And what we're seeing right here is events from across all of KW. You'll notice here on Monday, there's 99 plus more on this Monday class. There's 100 plus more on this Thursday here. And you can click on each day to see, all the events that are going on that day, or you can click on one individual event to look at what's that particular event itself. There's 89 pages of things going on that Thursday there, the 25th. If I come back to the calendar here, whenever it decides it wants to finish loading. There we go. So just so you don't get bogged down with all events across all of KW, you can filter this down to just events that you're interested in or just certain areas or things like that. You can search for the name of a course or a event that you're looking for. So we could search for something like MREA here. We've got some MREA classes happening in New Jersey, Florida, Hanover, I'm not sure where Hanover is, Atlanta, Tustin, I guess that's in California, wherever Egan is. And if you want to learn more about an individual event, you can click on that there. You can also search for a particular area. So if you want to know about events going on in, I don't know, say you were in Florida, you lived somewhere in Central Florida, and you could travel almost anywhere in the state if you wanted to, you could just type Florida and just see what events are going on in your state. Eventually. Maybe we have to abbreviate it. There we go. Events in Florida. So this is in St. Petersburg, Southern Indiana. Is there an Indiana in Florida? Vancouver? I think this is a little bit messed up here. You can also search by a date range, and then you can change how they're sorted when you get those search results. If we click back on the main calendar page, you can even filter what's showing here on the calendar itself using this advanced filter over here on the left whenever it finishes loading. So you can filter by where is this event being held? Right now we've got it on all MC events, and you see that green circle there. You'll notice that matches the color of the events down here in the calendar. That lets you know what kind of events you're looking at here. So if I uncheck this one, I can check this box instead maybe for just my market center. And if I click apply filter, it's going to show me just events going on in my market center. So there's a good bit of stuff going on in the, I'm logged in as Scott here. So this is probably, I don't even know which market center this is, but Scott is a member of a couple of market centers for different reasons, but he can see events in this market center, in his primary market center. Also, you can do events hosted by your region. Excuse me, that's either any market center in your region or by the region itself. Or you can even look at events that are going on at KW International over in Austin. We've got the Leverage series started last week. We've got Franchise System Orientation that started on Monday, ending today. We can click through other months and see what's going on there as well. You can also filter by owner, which is not going to be super useful because most people aren't going to be adding events to this calendar. You can also filter by, is this a class, a meeting, a team meeting, a leadership consultation, live stream, or other. This is not going to be super efficient right now because most of these events are coming over from the Market Center intranet. So not everything gets categorized the way that it's supposed to be. But if I check this box for class here and come back to my Market Center, oh, you can also choose the class name here. So let's search for like CGI here and see if there are any CGI events going on at my market center. It looks like not. Let's try something like, we'll just search Ignite because that's the most common one here. Search that. Is it just frozen? Because I know for sure there's going to be some Ignite going on here. Guess not. And you can also filter this by whether it's online or in person. Now, this calendar is not one that you can subscribe to. You can't choose to subscribe to KW International events or all Market Center events. You can only subscribe to your Market Center within the Market Center intranet, but you can see what's going on here and get details about all of those events here across KW here in this calendar. Coming up to resources, we've got Connect Live. They do live classes. I think it's about once a week, maybe twice a week. Yeah, it looks like Wednesdays and Thursdays. Oh, 3 times a week. Wow, lots of stuff coming up in KW Connect Live. Today, there's a class on sales pipeline. Stay on top of opportunities from lead to close. So if you click on that, that's at 1 p.m. Central. So that's right at the time this class ends. So you can watch that once you're done watching my class here. We've also got a command Q&A starting at 3, so that's going to be after this class. And if I click on one of those here, you can get details about this class here, about what it is, and you can click on, let's see, you'll be joining the conversation on screen. You can register to be an interactive participant to that, or you can just watch it via this link right here, and it will be showing on this page eventually. Also under resources, we've got welcome new associates. This is information that's going to be helpful in your first 90-ish days as a KW associate. It's got information about setting up your profile and getting different apps and logging in and starting training and things like that. Also under resources, we've got culture. Culture is, as far as my definition goes, it's the way that we as KW associates and the way that KW as a company interact with people, whether it's people inside the company or your clients or your co-brokers or the community that you live and work in. It's how KW relates and interacts with people. So that's where you're going to find information about Red Day, which is coming up. KW Cares, wealth building through, what is that, profit share, KW Kids Can, and wellness and all that. And if you want more information about those, you can click on each one of those to go see what that is there. Also under resources, we've got events, and these are going to be the big events. This is Family Reunion, this is Mega Camp, this is what's going on in Austin, Mastermind Groups, Red Day, it's coming up soon, Bold. And if you want more information about any one of those, you can click on those as well. Also under resources, industry. This is how KW is interacting with the real estate industry as a whole, and also how you as an agent can interact with the industry in the best way possible. So there's information about how KW is influencing the industry, working with copyright, keeping data private, especially for your clients, information about the Do Not Call registry and fair housing. Lots of fun stuff here for you guys as business owners, especially in the real estate industry. Here in resources, we've got Keller Mortgage. If you want more information about Keller Mortgage, you can click on that and get more information about it. You've got sign up there. I don't have much information about Keller Mortgage because that is handled 100% on KW International's end. But here's where you can sign up to work with Keller Mortgage if your market center has it available, which I believe most market centers should by this point. Next, under resources, we've got KWU. This is that page that we began at Keller Williams University, where it's got information about the classes that KW International provides for like market centers to teach or regions or that they host at KW International. Of course, the most popular course is going to be Ignite, and you can find more details about this under courses, but they put it right here on the homepage of KWU because the vast majority of people are going to be looking for that. They've also got information about shift here, which the market is in a shift. I have firsthand experience with that. My house is having trouble selling because it's becoming more of a buyer's market at this point. And if you want to know how to thrive in the buyer's market, get yourself a copy of Shift and get into the Shift class to learn how to do that. There's also a curriculum path for which classes you should take at which stage in your career and how to move forward with building your business there. There's also a path for leadership at market centers. So if you're an MCA or an ASC or a team leader, you can get information about that there. Lunch and Learns, KWU On Demand, all that fun stuff. Also under resources, we've got MAPS Coaching. This is kind of the last stage of building your business. Actually, no, it's not really. It's a more advanced stage of building your business after you've gone through like Ignite and Bold, even though Bold is listed here. Then you get into like coaching. So it's like group coaching or individual coaching to bring your business past the current level up to even the next level. This is where you get into multi-million-dollar producers and people that are starting their own teams and opening their own offices, things like that. That's through what they're learning and what they're kept accountable for through coaching. And you can learn more about that by clicking on any of these. Also under resources, we've got marketing. This is where you're going to find KW logos and how you're allowed to use those logos. There's also a listing presentation template here on this page. So for those of you that wanted to know, hey, where in KW Connect can I find a listing presentation? Right here under marketing. There's also where you can get that Red Label clothing and order the Outfront magazine, social media tips and templates, press release templates, and resources for leadership. One thing I want to point out here for logos and branding, let's click on that. What it's going to show us first is the identity and style guide. This is a PDF document that shows you how you are and are not allowed to use the KW name and logo on your marketing materials. So if you don't want to get in trouble with KW International for using the logo incorrectly or leaving something off or putting something in that you shouldn't have, this is the place to learn how to do that. It talks about colors, it talks about fonts, it talks about sizes, it talks about resizing, things like that. And then underneath that down here, we've got the Market Center Logos section. This is where you can search for your market center to download your specific logo at your market center. Now, not all KW offices are going to have a logo in this section. If you search in this section and you can't find your market center is going to need to reach out to KW International support to get it added to this section. We had a specific email address to send that to. I think it might be marketing@kw.com. I'll have to look that up for the next time I do this class. Oh, look at that. Leaders can request a creation of a custom compliant logo for their office by emailing kwredlabel@kw.com. That's where I saw that. So if your market center is not listed in this section, you can have your market center leadership email them there and they can get added here. So in this box here, you can search for your market center's name or location or the market center's number. So if I put in 196 here, that's going to take me to Gulf Coast. That's Pensacola, where I'm from. We can also do like Cincinnati. Apparently Cincinnati doesn't have a logo. What am I going to look for? Park Cities. We've got Dallas Park Cities and Park City. So you can search for either the name or the number of your market center. Then you can click on download over here. And that's going to download a zip file that you can extract. And it's going to have several different folders in there with the logo in several different formats. There's going to be EPS formats. There's going to be PNG, JPG, BMP, all kinds of different formats. What you're going to want to look into is the RGB folder. And in there, it's going to have either a PNG or a JPG. You can can use those basically interchangeably across different platforms. Now, if you're working with a designer for like a business card or a sign or a flyer or something, just send them that entire zip file and they can pick out the format that's going to work best for them. Okay. Back up here under resources, work down here for MCAs. I'm not actually going to click on this page, but this is going to be information about like Account Edge and what's that called? WinMore, and information about the new CloudMore system, things like that. Technology is going to have a lot of the same information that it had listed in that first section on the home page. This is where you can get more about the different parts of KW's technology tools. Command, what's going on there, what's going on with the new version of the KW app, which is supposed to be coming out soon, and it's going to be awesome, we hope. Information about this right here, KW Connect using Kelly, the new version of WinMore, which is CloudMore, which is for MCAs, and then training on using all the KW tools. We've got leverage here. I'm not actually going to click on that, but leverage, when you hear that in KW, it means hiring. Leverage equals hiring as far as KW is concerned. And this is where you're leveraging your time as the agent to do things that you as the agent can do. And you're hiring somebody like an admin to do things that an admin can do where they can't do what an agent can do. So an admin can handle paperwork. An admin cannot go out and show houses and have appointments. So that's where that leverage comes in. It's leveraging your time and your team members' time to get the most done. And there is a prescribed way that KW International has tested and proven over hundreds of thousands of hires as far as finding the best people for your team, especially that very first admin. It's things like the KPA, the Keller Personality Assessment, and the interview process, and exactly which questions to ask and how to evaluate those answers, things like that. And then lastly, we've got profit share here. This is where I'm going to leave you to direct your questions to the team leader. Your team leader is going to have more information about how profit share works. Basically, if you help build the company by bringing in agents that get into production that have named you as their sponsor, you get to participate in profit share as they contribute to the profit of the market center. It's not commission sharing, it's profit of your market center. Okay. Coming up here to Ask Agents, it's not a drop-down, so we're just going to click on it here. This is a forum where you can ask other agents about different things about being a real estate agent. So does anybody have a great script I can use? Or you know, what's an unorthodox way that you're meeting new people? Or, you know, what's the best place to give out your business card? Or what's a great idea to take with you when you're door knocking? Things like that. What it's devolved into, unfortunately, is asking for referrals and broadcasting your listing for people to come show it. That's not what it was intended to be. It's supposed to be more for those questions that I asked at the beginning, asking other agents how to conduct your business, because there are hundreds of thousands of agents here, and they're going to have 100,000 different perspectives on what's good to do to build your business. And if there's something that works for you, definitely adopt that. This is not supposed to be where you can broadcast referrals and advertise your listings. There's a completely different section for that, which we cover in our class on, it's a new class that we just started last month. It's the fourth Wednesday of the month where we cover groups, chat, and the referrals section in KW Command. We used to cover referrals here in the KW Connect overview, but since that's been moved over to Command, we're covering that there instead. Okay. Coming to technology, this is going to have a lot of the same information as this page right here. In fact, it's going to be basically identical information. But what it doesn't, what's kind of new here is this ideas.kw.com. If there's anything you'd like to see as far as KW technology, like a feature you want in Kelly or in Command or in the new app as they're developing that, this is where you can request those things. You can post your idea, and then other agents come in and vote on whether your idea is a good idea. So if they click that vote button, it's going to move up the list and get more attention from KW International. So if I click on this here, eventually, there we go. We've got some hot ideas here. Right now, the number one thing that people are wanting in the Command system is they want to be able to see more than 50 contacts on the screen at a time. And I think that's a great idea, so I'm going to click that vote button, and now it lets me know I've voted, and now this is at 740 votes versus 730. You can search through this for people that might have already had your idea instead of posting the same thing over and over. You can also filter by category and status. as far as, yeah, already exists here. What have we got? See, contact data pulled from phone info or send bulk emails to a list of contacts. Those do already exist in the command system. Okay, coming back to KW Connect. We are going to skip referrals here because, like I said, we covered that in our class on the 4th Wednesday. So we're going to come over here to growth. So you're not going to have all the same options here that I do. You're not going to have growth initiative, growth resources, or leadership opportunities, but you should at least have career growth initiative and maybe expansion. If you don't have expansion, then that's another one that's part of Market Center leadership. So you may just have career growth initiative. Before we get into the CGI, I want to explain more about the growth initiative to begin with. The growth initiative was started in roughly 2011, I believe, by KW International. It was a prescription for the way that KW leadership, Market Center leadership, we're supposed to be building the company. It was guidelines and templates and requirements for leadership for you need to do this in this way using these tools, and that will help you build your Market Center by recruiting. And it worked. Holy cow, did it work. KW has become the #1 real estate company in the United States because of the growth initiative and what it was translated into, the career growth initiative. The growth initiative started out with, for team leaders, this is the biggest thing, was team leaders were told, hey, we would like for you to go on 40 recruiting appointments per month. And team leaders at first thought, are you crazy? More than 1 appointment a day per month on average? Nobody's going to be able to manage that. Nobody's going to be able to do that. That's, reaching for the clouds. And now today, that 40 appointments a month is a minimum. If you're doing 60 appointments a month, you're doing in much better shape. And so they've translated that to, okay, of those 40 appointments a month, 10 of those have to be with producing agents. It can't just be brand new agents. And again, team leaders are like, are you crazy? But now they're moving into that. And what's happened is the growth initiative has proven itself to be effective. KW International now has about 175,000 associates, and it's the #1 real estate company in production, volume, and agent count. It's not just the number of agents. Those agents are also producing. And that's because of what the growth initiative was translated into, which is the career growth initiative. The growth initiative, those same principles and tools and things like that, like the pipeline tool and the lore, the language of real estate, and the calculating how many appointments and things like that, those were translated from the growth initiative, which is proven to work. There's no doubt about whether the growth initiative works, to the career growth initiative. So for individual agents to build their own businesses, which in turn builds KW International. So there are tools in there like a calculator for deciding, okay, I want to make this much money in this year. To get to that point of this much money in the bank, here's how many appointments I need to go on per month, listing appointments and then buyer appointments. And you would be very surprised when you go through this calculator of, say I wanted 200K in the bank, after taxes, after expenses. That's what I want to have to spend on my life at the end of the year. And you would be surprised at how quickly that breaks down into, even if you don't have quote unquote great stats, that breaks down into 4, 5, 6 appointments per month. To get to those goals. So if you go on those appointments through the calculator and you're using these tools, you're using the scripts, you're using the illustrations with your clients, you're gonna be productive because it's already been proven to work. So if you want more information about the CGI, definitely talk to your Market Center leadership. Coming over here to search, we're gonna click on our little magnifying glass here to search for something. So this is where I'm going to need your guys' participation. Is there anything that you want to find in KW Connect? Anything at all as far as being a real estate agent? That could be something like scripts. That could be something like meeting people. That could be something like templates, or anything you can think of as an agent. What do you want to find here in KW Connect? And this is where you're going to use that chat feature. So if you'll look up near the top of the screen again, you've got those same 5 buttons that I do. Click on on this one just to the left of center that looks like a speech bubble, that's going to open up the chat window. I'm going to search for whatever you guys send me here in the chat window. And if you don't send me anything, we're not going to search for anything, unfortunately. So while you guys are thinking of those ideas, I'm going to go over one more thing here, or two more things here. We've got this upload button. This is where you're going to share your content to KW Connect for other associates to see and use. So this is where you're going to share your scripts. This is where you're going to share your success stories, your listing presentation template, your listing walkthrough videos as ideas for other associates to take from and build their business. KW is very much a sharing company. It's not, no, I'm going to keep my business secrets and you can't have them because you're going to use them and you're going to get business too. That doesn't make any sense. Their business is not taking away from your business. You're both building your business. So this is where you're going to share your content. And there's a couple of different kinds of content that you can upload when I click on that button. So we've got an option here for upload a file. So this is where you're going to share door knocking guides, scripts, etc. Matt, could you be more specific with that, etc., and just list those out because I can't search for etc. Where was I? So uploading a video here, or excuse me, uploading a file. This is where you're going to share a document like maybe a script or a listing presentation or what your yard sign looks like or things like that, or maybe a blueprint for what a great listing preview video looks like or something like that. So you upload your file, you choose a thumbnail if you want to do that. You give it a title, some keywords, a description, and this is what people are going to see when they search for content and yours comes up in those content searches. You can also upload a video here, and when it says upload, that doesn't mean you're actually uploading it here to KW Connect. It has to already exist somewhere else, so you've uploaded it maybe to YouTube or to Vimeo or something like that, and then you paste in the link to that video right here in this box. And then you give it a title and a description and the same kinds of things. And you can also share a link. So you can link to an article outside of KW. You can link to something you saw another agent do maybe on Facebook that you think is a great idea, or maybe your own Facebook post that has garnered a lot of attention and gotten you business. You can link to that post here in KW Connect to share that with other people. And again, this is for all KW associates to see. So you're helping build everybody's business when you share stuff to KW Connect. And then the last thing we're going to cover before we get to that search, thank you, Matt, for narrowing that down to scripts there. The last thing we're going to cover before we get to scripts is this My Profile section here. We are going to cover a little bit about this because this shows, this is the profile that other agents are going to see when they search for you in that referral section there. So we'll hover over your picture or your initials up here in this circle, and we'll click on My Profile. And this is what a profile looks like here in KW Connect in the referral section. This is only for other agents to see, only for other KW agents. It's not for the general public. It's not for clients. This is internal to KW. So this is not going to be marketing yourself to the outside. This is essentially going to be marketing yourself to the inside, to other agents. First, we've got this banner image section up here where it's got our digital marketing experts. That has to be very specific dimensions that we'll talk about in just a little bit, but this is essentially a cover photo just like on Facebook. Got your picture over here in the circle, and then down here we've got your profile. So you've got a biography where you can see that full biography there. Here's some statistics about your production in the last 12 months and things like that. Memberships like commercial and what's that called? Farm and Ranch and Luxury and KWYP, things like that, and then your service area where you work. So the way to edit these is using this red link right here for Edit My Profile. And just starting at the top, most of this is pretty self-explanatory. This is where you're going to upload your picture that goes in that circle. Under that, we've got that banner image that goes behind that circle picture here. And if you hover over this little eye icon right here, it tells you it's required to be exactly 1920 pixels wide by 313 pixels tall. And it has to be those exact numbers. It can't be 1921 high, and it can't be it can't be 1921 wide, and it can't be 312 tall. It cannot be 1 pixel off in either one of those dimensions. So if you want to learn how to resize an image to fit that, I'm sharing that here in the chat here. Coming down here, this is your email, your phone and mobile phone. I don't know why there are two different fields here, but you could maybe put a desk phone and a cell phone here. Your service area, you want to keep this pretty narrow. You want other agents to be able to tell, okay, this person specializes in this area as far as when I'm going to send them a referral. So if you list 20 different cities here, they're going to say, no, this person isn't isn't actually a specialist. They're actually just trying to get stuff from wherever, and they're not really focusing on any one place. Got your biography. This can be the same biography that you use for clients, but again, this is like an internal marketing thing. So you may want to change it up to talk about how well you're going to work with these referrals, your referral history, things like that for other agents to see. Social media links under here, these do need to be the full http:// blah, 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 the entire link. And if you want help to find these links here, we do have a class for exactly how to find that. Sending that to you there in the chat window. And then under that, we've got these tags. This is tags for your content here in KW Connect. Again, this is not a public client's visible profile. This is for other agents here in KW Connect. And these tags that we're applying in this section apply to your content that you're uploading. So if you're uploading stuff like listing presentation templates or scripts or things like that, you can put listing presentation, scripts, or whatever in the tags here. Say you're a buyer's agent and you've got buyer scripts and you've got how to keep an appointment short but still effective, things like that. You can put things like buyer script or buyer appointments or things like that. If you are a buyer agent, you're not going to put in listing presentation in this section because your content isn't going to have anything to do with listing presentation, and you don't want to show up when people are searching for listing stuff. They will actually want to find listing stuff, not buyer stuff. And then under that, you've got the option for primary market center. This only applies if you're a member of more than one market center. If you're just a member of one market center, it'll just show that one here in this list. But if you're a member of more than one market center, this is the one that's going to show up in the referral search when someone chooses to search by market center. You're going to show up under this market center. If you want more information about that, you can definitely reach out to KW International Support. Under that, we've got this section for email frequency. This is how often you're notified about activities in your KW Connect sphere or universe here. This is when someone you're following shares something in KW Connect, or when someone comments or interacts with your content, or when you get a referral network request, whether they're sending you a referral or asking you to join their referral network. And you can choose to get an email for each one of those, get an email every day, or get an email every week. There's no way to turn them off completely. It's one of those three options there. And then lastly, these options down here are for those statistics that I was scrolling through sideways, where it's your production basically over the last 12 months. You can turn those on and off here. If you turn something off in this section and you save it and you go back to your profile and it doesn't show, it still shows that, you would actually need to contact KW International Support. There's nothing we can really do beyond trying to turn on and off these switches, so KW International will need to help with that. Once you've made any changes here to this profile, you can click update either down here at the bottom or up at the very top. Okay, so I do have one search thing from Matt, so I'm going to go look at that. But any of you other 7 viewers that are out there, definitely send me things you want to search for here in KW Connect, because I can't spend the entirety of the rest of the class searching for one thing. Okay, coming up here to our magnifying glass, we're going to search for script. Is there any particular kind of script you're looking for, Matt? Maybe a listing script or a buyer script or a FSBO script or a door knocking script? I'll just search for script to get started. So what it's going to show here on the search results is the newest first, the most recent content that meets that search criteria, and there is script in this content. Looks like there's a team leader who has door knocking in the previous chat. Okay, door knocking script. There we go. So, oops, go back here. Looks like a team leader has shared something about how cap goes away after you have met your cap, whatever. So that's the newest. You can also sort by relevance, things that are the most relevant to your search term here. We've got an expired listing cold call script where these two mega agents are both calling expired listings to see who can get the listing. This is live. This is them actually talking to this potential client. So, and these are multi-million-dollar producers. So you might want to emulate a little bit how they're handling this phone call here. You can also filter this by highest rated. This is going to be the highest number of hearts here that meet that search term there. So script there, got a seller objection handler with 102 hearts. Most popular, which I don't know what the difference is there. Most reviewed, this is going to have the most comments right here. And then you can do alphabetical and oldest first. More often than not, you're going to want probably relevance or most popular or highest rated. Let's try door knocking. Okay, so this is newest first. I'm going to again change this to relevance. Okay, rock your profit with door knocking here. So this is from the KW blog. So this is shared by KW International, so you can go read that if you want. But then we've got this video of an agent who's on rollerblades going around a neighborhood and knocking on doors. So she's got information about that. Here it is, CGI lead gen for listings, door knocking toolkit. So this is shared by Sandra Candler. I believe she's actually an ASC with the market center that we work with, and she's got information about how to go door knocking to build your business there. Lead gen for listings, door knocking. So there's a lot of stuff there. Anybody else have anything else you want to search for? While I'm waiting for that, now I do want to point out you can filter by the different types of things here. This is by default going to show all types of results here. So you've got videos, you've got documents, you've got links, all of that here. This is a link to the KW blog and all that fun stuff. You can also filter it to just show videos here. So we've got a Red Talk with Carl Batiste where he, excuse me, he is talking about door knocking, and he's a mega agent as well from Danville. You can also filter this by whether it's an audio post, and most audio posts are going to be from KW International, and this is list to less. Stacy Sauls and her team at Fort Mill Market Center have mastered lead generation as far as door knocking. You can also search for users that have those types of things, and actually, you know what, I think that users is just going to be searching for names. Documents here, there's that lead gen toolkit here. There's another one there. You can also links here. This is that blog, that external link. These are all things that are outside of KW Connect. Courses that apply to that. Pages here in KW Connect that apply to that. Communities within KW Connect that apply to that. There's a door knocking community here in KW Connect. And I don't know why vendors here. I don't really think there are any vendors. Anyway. So let's go back to all types here. There's one other filter to do. Remember from the home page, we have that circle for KW International content and then user content, associate content. By default, it's going to show both. I can check one of these off here, and it's going to show me just content from KW International. If I check off the KW one here, it's going to show me just content from other associates. So, or apparently KW Connect. But then we've got this Debbie Irons video and all that fun stuff there. That's going to do it for our KW Connect overview today. Everybody have a great day, and we'll catch you next week for, it looks like the Kelly overview. We'll be going hands-on with Kelly because there have been some big changes recently. Everybody have a great day.